Welcome to Decor and Design as Easy as Mine. This time I am a little bit more ambitious in the project that I am undertaking. In most modern architecture, the open plan design is very much in vogue. Indeed, you must have thought about updating your home in this style. While this design is by no means easy to execute, because it takes a lot of planning, time, and even money to achieve, I do believe that it's worth it in the end. So I must confess that you will have to endure much breaking of walls, removal of old cabinets and tiles in dust and dirt. I would recommend that you live in another space while you attempt this renovation. I completed mine before I moved into my apartment. I did not attempt this myself, on my own. My contractors did. I was involved in the planning and design. So my project this time was the renovation of the kitchen in the open plan style. So to give you some idea of what the plan of the apartment was like, when you entered the apartment, the kitchen was on the left-hand side, enclosed by an L-shaped wall. Entry to that kitchen was through a door. The amount of light was restricted by the enclosure, especially by the archway that went up to the ceiling. As you can see from this picture, on the left-hand side there was some open shelving. The size of the enclosed kitchen was 2 by 3.5 meters. The passageway was wasted space, which allowed entry into the lounge. This was a 22-year-old apartment and a big job. The upper cupboards were in good condition. I decided to advertise them for sale on an online site, as I thought they could be reused. Personally, when I see many home decor television programs that show the demolition of the old cupboards, I cringe a little because they could be repurposed for use by someone else, and that could help reduce wastage. In this case, someone purchased all the cupboards with the appliances, dismantled them, and took them away. And I saved on the cost of removing them. I also noticed that there was wastage of space between the cupboards and the ceiling. With better planning and designing, that could be optimized. During my inspection, I noticed that the floor had previously been retiled. As the new tiles were placed on the old, the bottom oven of the stove could not open. That is not the way to complete any renovation. So the floor and the wall tiles would have to be removed also. The work was piling up. The kitchen sink was dated, as were the granite tops. The couple who bought the cupboards were delighted to have the sink too. Once the cupboards were removed, it was time to demolish the walls of the kitchen. Power lines that were in the wall were exposed. The heights of the ceiling in the kitchen and the lounge were not the same. In addition, there were no covings or ceiling moldings in the kitchen. They were no longer available in the hardware shops. I had to have them purpose-made. With the L-shaped walls of the kitchen removed, new possibilities emerge from the rubble. There is more light than before. The space between the cupboards needed my attention. As they appeared now, ceramic tiles were unlikely to provide the lift I was hoping to get for that space. I recalled my visit to Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. It was indeed a grand mosque. It was made of white marble floors and walls, which were decorated by colored cutouts of precious stones depicting flowers, stems, and vines. It was simply stunning, and the details were intricate and beautiful. Clearly, I could not afford that in my kitchen, but I could be inspired by what I saw. I found a craftsman who worked on toughened glass. When he visited the building site, I sketched out the vines that I wanted drawn in black and placed on white toughened glass. He took my sketch, gave it to his artisans, and they crafted a design to create an original backsplash. When the cupboards were completely installed, the craftsman finished it with this original backsplash. It changed a drab space into a talking point. With new appliances in place, the kitchen was ready to be unveiled. This was how it now looked, in the same space as before, but with cupboards that went up to the ceiling, and of course finished with black granite tops. Two lights in clear glass, replicating the shape of the extractor fan in the background, were then added. The decision to open up the kitchen wall paid off handsomely, with light reflecting off the surfaces everywhere. The modern cupboards and appliances finished the picture. The decision to replace the floor tiles with porcelain ones was a good one. An additional area for breakfast, or for working on a laptop, or for simply talking to the cook completes the picture with the bar stools in the main colors of the kitchen. It is important to remember that this kitchen is still the same size as the previous one. However, it is integrated into the living space, and it gives the illusion of a much larger area. Comparing the before and after pictures of my kitchen is like chalk and cheese. The picture of more space is created with this simple open plan design. Was it easy? To be honest, it was not. But it was certainly worth it in the end. I hope this encourages you to plan the decor and design of your open plan kitchen. I also hope that it gives you as much joy as I got when I did mine.